Hello, people. Welcome to the Phantom Group, and here tonight we have Zay and C3,
Yo.
Phoenix Kai,
Hey.
and myself, the anime hero. We're gonna talk about Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, let's go.
By shonen heroes!
Yeah, it's so exciting. Listen to the sound of our voices. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Why don't y'all talk about Rurouni Kenshin?
I guess I can start. It's my fourth favorite shonen, tied with JoJo's.
OMG.
Yeah, it really is. But I've always said that the Kyoto arc with Shishio is one of the best 3 arcs in shonen that I've ever read or watched.
I feel that is Kenshin's best arc.
Yeah, man, and Kenshin is just like I've never. I think the only problem I've ever had with Kenshin is that I've sometimes felt that Yahiko, whenever he was fighting, he could have used like a real sword instead of a wooden one, and that might have been able to like develop him like into a better swordsman. But besides that, I think everything is just like so masterfully like written and drawn. I thought the artwork was just amazing in the Jinchu arc. I always found it kind of weird that Kenshin was 28 and then Kaoru was 17. I don't know, that age disparity was the age disparity was just so. But
Kenshin was just like this girl here. I tap that.
Right.
Yeah, women were like, well, he's not that much older. He's almost 30.
It's like girly looking face. He
Yeah.
has that baby face. That's like
So it's like, yeah, I'll fuck him.
Miss Kaoru, let me show you my patosai.
And I ain't talking about the reverse blade sword either.
Oro? Like he'll just make like that sound Oro, and then he'll do whatever. I don't know. I mean, I guess
I was thinking like JoJo with that like oh no.
Oh, I thought you was about to say something with Kakyoe.
but,
So we're going back on Kenshin though. Yeah, I would say the Kyoto arc is the best thing, but let's just start things from scratch to those who don't know too much about it. Rurouni Kenshin is basically the samurai series that takes place in the late 1800s, I think.
1800s, yeah, but it's during like the Bakumatsu Rebellion and the Meiji government. Yeah, 1860s.
Mm-hmm. Back in the 1860s, where all we had was swords and swords.
And some guns.
Yeah, there were some guns, but the sword was like the main thing in Japan.
Right, and basically, like the whole samurai ronin thing was dying out during Japan at that time, and
because of the sword ban that was being placed.
Right, and then I mean, you even see like in the first like opening of the series, like Tanaka, I think his name is. He comes in with like that Gatling gun, so
yeah,
you can sort of see like this sort of push in terms of Japan going from like a very sort of like medieval-like power to more of a industrial sort of like power, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the times are changing.
The times are changing. Yeah, exactly. Basically that. But yeah, probably my favorite character is probably Kenshin himself, and then maybe I'd probably put Saito and Aoshi up there also. I just like Kenshin's whole journey in terms of trying to find peace with all the the murders and the killings that he did back during the Bakumatsu Rebellion. So him always trying to find peace with that, I think, is something that's very I think it's kind of heartwarming to see, but sometimes I feel like his pacifism can be a little too much, you know.
I'm trying to think of a scene where I don't know why I was getting confused with Trigun for some reason with the storyline, but yeah, going back on Kenshin, the whole pacifism aspect. Like, we can understand why he's going through it with the, because I remember Merlin said that probably the best introduction to the whole series is the Trust or Betrayal OVA, to better understand Kenshin's character and see, like, where's he coming from, like, in the beginning of the anime compared to that story.
Yeah.
Being an assassin for hire, working in the military, basically taking part in all these wars, like, affecting people's lives left and right. Because what I loved about that, it's later revisited with Seijiro Hiko in the Kyoto arc, where he pretty much told Kenshin that, the fact that you went in the war, you made the monster of Shishio today. Basically, if you didn't show up, then the world would have been a different place in Japan.
Right. Shishio himself is probably I probably pick Shishio as the best villain in the series, but Enishi in the last arc, he's really awesome too.
I still like Shishio though.
I mean, I like Shishio too.
No, because technically the only real villains in the series were, well, major villains would be like Aoshi, and Shishio, and then Enishi.
Enishi, yeah. Would you put a? Well, I mean, Tanaka and like Ryu.
Well, Tanaka technically was the one in charge, but by the end of the day, we know who's the one doing the work.
Yeah, because like there's like a lot of like minor villains.
Then again, even like Saito was seemed like an antagonist at first.
Yeah.
First introduced, he's just jumps Sanosuke and it's like, yeah, good Batosai, I want to fight you one last time, Manslayer.
Yeah. Once again, the main cast, besides Kenshin himself, and that's his main story, the whole trying to atone for his sins thing, but Sanosuke and Yahiko are pretty cool too, right?
Yeah. I like more, Sanosuke of the two, obviously, just because of the, you got Futai no Kiwami, but you got your traditional, like, masculine shonen guy, you're just like, man, I don't know what to do, so let me just train.
Right. His past was pretty shitty too, I mean, with the whole, original Sanosuke, wait, what's his name? The leader who got beheaded. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the leader.
Yeah, but that was actually very similar to sort of Gintoki in a little bit. If you guys like Gintama, yeah, that's Sanosuke. He'll probably be like a Kuwabara, Wooden Sword Ryu from Shaman King, like that sort of character.
Oh hell yeah. I know, because for one thing, unlike all the other characters, he doesn't use a sword. He fights with his fist.
Yeah.
So he's a real man.
I'm with Yahiko. He's sort of like the Gohan, Simon sort of character. Like he's like a kid, and then he eventually matures into like an adult.
Yeah,
Hey, I got a question about Yahiko. Why did they give him a real sword?
We're talking about that.
That's my problem, Kai, because I thought, like, especially like in the Kyoto arc when he was fighting Henya, the crow guy, and then in the Enishi arc when he was fighting that big dude, I forget his name, the one with the cannon. I thought those were like great moments for Watsuki, who is the mangaka, to give Yahiko like a real sword and actually like beat them. I don't know why he was still using a wooden sword at that time.
I don't know. I think that they wanted to, like, part of it has to do because he was studying, like, how to style the Kashin style. I think the other reason why was that it'd be more, like, impactful when, at the end of the series, Kenshin gives his sword to him.
Right. That was pretty cool just to see that. I don't want to spoil the ending too much, but when you see that, it's like, it's pretty sick.
It's like, the passing to the next generation. That's like,
yeah.
That's your business.
I guess we can talk about like Nobuhiro Watsuki himself. As you guys may or may not know, Oda was actually famously an assistant underneath him.
Oh, he had like a couple people, even Shaman King.
Hiroyuki Takei, who writes Shaman King, was the same. Shima Bukuro, who writes Toriko. All three of them were assistants under Watsuki when he was writing Kenshin, so that was pretty cool. And Watsuki himself was actually an assistant to Obata, the guy who wrote Death Note and Bakuman. So it's kind of cool to see like the whole like mangaka tree.
Mangaka tree.
Yeah, Obata to Watsuki to Oda Takei and Shimo Mitsutoshi. Pretty cool.
Let's talk a little bit about the plot of Kenshin, because initially it just kind of begins very episodic. Like, not much of a direction to go. It's not until Saito shows up and the Oniwaban. Basically, where all the antagonists start showing up, that's when you see like Kenshin's morality be put into question.
Yeah, for me, Kenshin's story, it's very different than like other shonen in the sense that
it doesn't feel like a battle shonen that time.
Right. It just feels like things are happening. Like this happened.
It only felt like real shonen was during the Kyoto arc with the towards like the final battles where Saito, Sanosuke, and Kenshin, they all had to take turns fighting opponents one by one in that Shishio's base.
Yeah, dude, that final fight with Shishio is honestly one of the best fights that I've ever not only watched but read also.
Shishio was going beastly on that shit. Just one at a time. It's like, fuck you, I'll bite you.
He was such a good villain. I mean, even his henchmen, like the Jupangatna, dude, like Sojiro is in my top 5 henchmen ever. He's that good, and
you explained yourself before with the
who's Sojiro?
Yeah, because of being the follower, the dedicated follower of Shishio all the way since like his younger days.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, I guess I can like Sojo's flashback is like just amazing. This guy was basically like a nobody who was taken in by this family, and the family treated him like crap. And then he finally met Shishio, and then he taught him the mantra that the strong live and the weak die. And then he took that to heart.
Survival of the fittest, and ended up becoming like his. He basically he gave
Make
his
the circle
philosophy. Yeah, like he made him believe his philosophy. And then when he met Kenshin, he started questioning that philosophy. So.
Yeah.
Anji the Destroyer.
Oh yeah. The guy Sanosuke fought.
Yeah, like that monk as a
Yeah.
similar to like to Sojiro. Like his backstory was also on the tragic side. I mean, he was just like a guy who had this belief in Buddha, and you know, he was taking care of like this orphanage, and then out of nowhere, like the same people like he was trying to protect, you know, he ended up losing them. Then he basically threw out his convictions altogether just for like for the sake of greater power.
Yeah. And then the guy that Saito fought, Usui, fun fact, he was based on mercenary talent Roshi from Dragon Ball. So that was pretty cool.
I could see the two together.
Because he had like the turtle shell.
The turtle shell, then the face with the mustache.
Right. Yeah, dude, those guys were some of the best henchmen that I've seen. Just like they might have been taken out a little too quickly, but I just loved like their characters, their personalities, their like what they believed in, their motivations, like why they believed in it, their fighting styles, like everything about them was just like so great. Specifically like those three, they were just really good.
Top tier henchmen.
Yeah, they really were.
Well, the difference is that Usui wasn't that. Both Usui and Anji didn't like have complete faith in Shishio though.
Yeah.
And like Usui was like just waiting for opportunities to kill him, and then Anji was like, he would kill Shishio if he didn't meet up his expectations of peace. You know?
Do you think the henchmen from the Enishi arc stand up to them?
The one that I like was the one with the puppetry.
Yeah,
that one's the one that really stood out for me. But
yeah, same here. He was in my opinion, he was the best henchman for that arc.
That and the one that was like an assassin that would be hiding in the shadows. He looked like Venom basically.
Yeah.
Had like this huge claw and everything.
Yeah, he fought Kenshin during the past also.
Yeah, but definitely the one with the puppet is the one that really stood out. Because one of the reasons why he stood out is because I'm not gonna give too much away, but his reveal that he was like in the second arc the whole time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, it turns out I was a beast.
I know, right? I mean, but all his puppets were cool though. Like his reveal was kind of shocking. You're like, oh, this is carrying over now. That's pretty awesome. Also, that one guy that Sanosuke fought, the guy with the gauntlets. I forget his name. Yeah, the military.
That's the thing. They didn't really stand out too much as characters.
I like that fight though. It was like so like a lot of like fist fighting. I kind of liked it.
Because that's a rare thing in Kenshin. Fist fights. Only happens with Sanosuke. That's it.
Hiko Seijiro was a pretty cool character also.
Oh man, he was so underutilized. Like, cause I fear that is he the strongest character of the series, man?
Yeah, I think most likely
he'd have to in order to take on the giant.
that dude would have murked every single character in the series.
Seijiro Hiko, man, like
such a beast.
Dude, it's surprising that he actually made a character that manly in this series that's full of fight shonen.
Right.
It's like this guy is just like, wow, where did you come from? It's like. It's like I trained the art of the sword, and he's like so fucking huge and everything. It's like Kenshin, you left before you finished your training. Why should I train you again?
Right. But going back to what we were saying about Kenshin's story, it's very different because there weren't a whole lot of I want to say like the thing about like a story in my opinion is that I sort of like the whole like shocking mystery reveal sort of thing going on in a story. Kenshin didn't really have that except for the moment with Saito. It had great flashbacks. So, I mean, dude, that freaking flashback that we had with Kenshin and Tomoe. Oh my god, that was so good.
Like that's to me that's the best part of like everything afterwards of Kenshin. Honestly,
right. But I mean, it's not a bad story. It's one of the best stories that I've ever read. It's just like very different compared to like what other shonen things I've read, which always have like this sense of like intrigue or mystery to it. Kenshin,
it's more like more realistic for the most part.
Right, it's historical fiction.
Yeah, like imagine if Kenshin was like a lot more shonen than it used to be. And I'm trying to think of an example. Like remember when Shishio was introduced and everything? Like imagine it in the most shonen cliche ways. Like the next enemy is Shishio. Oh, his power level's over. Like what? Like it's score.
Next time on Rurouni Kenshin.
No, seriously. I mean, I don't know. I'm wondering, would it have worked if the Kenshin was like that, or would it just like be too much?
Well, I got something to say. I was gonna say, how many like samurai anime do you know that do that?
That's a good question. Usually, not many of them go over the top, but I think the reason, well, actually, Samurai 7 is kind of in that department.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
You got giant mech swordsman.
Blade of the Immortal, maybe? But that's seinen, right?
There's actually a manhwa, but
Oh, I didn't know that.
no, wait, Blade. No, sorry, no, I'm thinking Blade of the Phantom Master. That's the manhwa.
Blade of the Immortal, I think it was shonen and then might have been seinen. I think it was something like that.
Yeah, I can. The only one I could think that might be shonen, but I haven't finished watching it was the series called Jubei-chan, the Ninja Girl, like 26 episodes, but and it was a bit of a self parody of the Jubei Ninja. I mean swordsman.
Oh, nice.
I guess Samurai Champloo maybe because it's not a shonen obviously, but
No, I think that's
it blends. What was that?
I think that's a cine, man.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's going with the over the top portion.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess with like that one guy Mugen fought in episode 9, the supernatural thing was there.
Well, but anyways, with Kenshin, Kenshin does have some supernatural things, and the biggest obvious one is more than likely the giant.
Yeah.
That one's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, since we're talking about the supernatural part, I kind of want to talk about that filler arc. So basically in the anime, like for those of you guys who don't know, season 3 after the Kyoto arc, they never animated the Jinshu arc except for one OVA, which is not that good. But they never fully animated the Jinshu arc. So the third season that they had was all filler, and that was like 30-something episodes for the show. But there's this one really good arc called the Son of God arc, and that's like 9 or 10 episodes, and that is probably the best filler that I've ever watched in any show. It was just amazing. The main villain is this guy called Shogo Amakusa. He knows like a higher level of the Amakekaru Ryu no Hirameki technique, so he actually makes Kenshin... Actually, no, I'm not going to say it because that's kind of a spoiler, but just looking at sort of the prosecution of Christians in Japan during that time, it was, I thought the studio behind... I forget who it is, but they did a really good job in terms of like expressing sort of like the prejudice against Christians during that time. Honestly, it is the best filler that I've ever seen.
No, the thing is, it does start off a little bit on the slow side and gradually gets better as it goes. Like the Kyoto arc, obviously, is the best part of the series. So.
Yeah, dude, that first season besides the whole Aoshi thing, it was just like, ugh.
It just well, there is one thing I do like before Aoshi showed up. It was the I can't remember his fucking name, but
Gine.
Yeah, Jinai or
I like
Gine, yeah, must be Gine, but the black straw hat guy.
Yeah.
And when he shows up, he's like pushes Kenshin and everything, telling him that I've been waiting to I mean the survivors of the wars and everything, just in a way that's just the past returning to haunt him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but aside from that, that was just Janae was the only real thing going on in the first series.
That one guy, Raijuda, that was so dumb. The big guy with the blue hair.
Okay.
The guy who had like the little kid as his apprentice.
Oh, okay, that's the one I was referring to in the beginning of our conversation.
Yeah, like, I hated that arc. I think like other reviewers are talking about it, like in a live stream. They were saying like how much they hate it.
This just shows that Kenshin really had. I don't even know if Watsuki had a general idea of what the series was going to be about. Because considering the series is called Wandering Samurai, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
You know, he's not really exactly one to read anymore. So, when I first encountered Kenshin, like I heard about it like in its days of Tsunami, but I never really watched it. Like my first thing I ever saw though was actually Kenshin versus Sojiro, or either that or it was either Sanosuke when he's talking to Anji in the forest.
Yeah. That for me with Kenshin, it was kind of hard. I mean, I watched it, but I never watched it religiously like Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon, Pokemon, Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, because it was kind of hard for me to like understand what was going on because I was so young. But later when I watched it, and that show uncut, it was just amazing.
Yeah, because Kenshin as a shonen is like very more mature in tone, really. Than...
Right. It's very you need sort of like a brain to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Political, that's the thing. Like whenever it's the exposition is usually
yeah. Dude, the political aspect of Kenshin is it's very strong. Like you got to know things about like government.
You gotta know things that are from Japan, not even from your own country. That's the thing.
Yeah, but yeah, Kenshin, man, it's my fourth favorite shonen, tied with JoJo's, parts 1 through 6.
I don't know. When I rewatched Kenshin, like it dropped like really low for me. So I don't know why. It might be the look of the show. It might be I don't know. Something about it is like I'm not as into it as I used to.
Maybe reading it might be wait, did you read or did you watch it?
I done both. Like I read the whole series. I watched the anime, but I don't know. Usually with me, I tend to more watch things than I do reread things.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, Kenshin's manga is better than its anime.
Well, a lot of things are better in manga form, but still, I'm just, I don't know, I rather not. There's some series that make exceptions, but for Kenshin, I don't know, for me, it could just, haven't felt like, haven't gotten the emotional impact as I have for other series. It might be just because, like, I'm a manaholic, but, but I don't know, but what about you, Kai?
Well, to be honest with Kenshin, I only saw like a couple episodes, and I kind of been flip flopping with the arcs. I already know about the Shishio arc and the Oni Wambon group, but I think I probably stopped at Kenshin around episode probably 40. So I'm still halfway, watching the series though. So I did watch it in Toonami. It didn't really have a big impact on me, but after hearing so many people like talk about it, and I had like one friend who's like a fanboy over it, I probably will look at the series and finish it finally. So yeah, that's it.
All right then. Well, I guess we should end our conversation then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace.
Trying to think of something clever.
You can't be just note that today you can't be 11 years older and trying to marry the girl of your dreams.
Oh no.
Dude, seriously, I mean, Kenshin was predicated to be a romance story, but that just ruined it for me. That age disparity.
Probably was, honestly, because it does have to look.
Oh, you talking about Kenshin's age? He's like,
Yeah.
You know, Kenshin, Miss Megumi was like right there waiting. Get a hot doctor for yourself.
yeah, MILF.
So whatever. I'm hoping at least Sanosuke, got some of that. So.
Yeah, I got some of that.
Yeah, I think he's younger than her too. I think there's an age disparity there also.
Oh well, yeah, but it's manly though.
Yeah, you could have got with Megumi.
Yeah, it's manlier to go for an older woman than it is to go for like a really, really younger one.
Man, that's kind of creepy.
Exactly. Sanosuke's got the better eyes. Like Kenshin's got like going with Kaoru. What's wrong with him?
Can't she be like your adopted daughter, man? And
Oh, that's so
fuck with Megumi.
that is so rough. You know what it just reminded me of? This is one random scene I just found hilarious was when Saito says like, "Oh, I'm married."
yeah. When you beat up Sanosuke, yeah, that was hilarious.
I was like, Saito, you're married. That's like, okay. All right, let's just end it with the Seijiro Hiko's manliest character in the show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sounds great or die.